everyone. Today I'm gonna be going over, or we're gonna be going over, team affinities. I don't think there's any terrible ones, but I'm just gonna be going over them division by division. Okay, first the Orioles, Trey Mancini. His power's pretty good. His contact's pretty good. His vision's fine. His fielding's not great, and you're gonna need good fielding for a right fielder. His speed's not great. All around, about a 4 out of 10. You can do better. The Boston Red Sox, Rafael Devers, third baseman, lefty. He has contacts. Not much power against lefties, but righties, he's pretty good. Visions, it's better. It could be better, but his defense, it's good. For first baseman and third baseman, you don't need a ton of defense. I mean, you could use, you don't need a ton of defense for first basemen and third basemen. Speed's literal average, but about a 6 out of 10. Not amazing, but not terrible. Yankees, Gleyber Torres, young, very good, promising. Shortstop, right-handed, good contact, good power, pretty okay vision. His fielding's not amazing. You can do better for a shortstop, but it's also not terrible. The speed's below average, but that shouldn't affect. Altogether, he's about a 7 out of 10. Pretty good. The Tampa Bay Rays, Blake Snell. This card is very good. He has amazing Ks per 9, really fast, good, fast fastball for a starting pitcher. Good curveball, good changeup, good slider. All left-handed. His break's good, his hits per 9's good, his stamina's good. All around, 9.5 out of 10. I don't really know what that 0.5 is for, but it's, it could be used some other ways. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., young, right-handed. His contact versus righties is good. His contact versus lefties not good. His power versus righties is average. His power versus lefties average. His vision's a little bit above average. Defense, his arm's good, but otherwise nothing's that great. And his speed's not great. So all around, about a 5 out of 10. Next, the White Sox, Yoan Moncada, a good switch hitter. Switch hitter will be definitely useful. Good power versus righties, good contact, not power, contact versus righties, good contact versus lefties, good power against righties, not great power against lefties, not good vision. Defense is pretty good for a third baseman, and his speed's above average, so 6 out of 10. It could be a half, depends on how you do with that vision. The Indians, Carlos Santana, pretty good, very good in fact. Not great against righties, besides the power. Power against righties is good, power against lefties is good. His vision for being a power hitter is good. His contact versus lefties very good. He can play catcher, which is what he's a switch hitter. He's play catcher, first base, third base, which is very good. His speed's not great, but that shouldn't really affect. His defense is good. If you don't put him at first or catcher, he's a good bench bat. Okay, all around about a 8 out of 10. Could be another half. Matthew Boyd. For a major league pitcher, that fastball's not insanely fast, but it's fine. Fine slider, fine circle change, really slow curveball. It could fool some people. Some people might hit an absolute nuke off of it. Depends. Sinker, pretty fast. Left-handed. A decent stamina. Good Ks per 9. His break's fine. Otherwise, he's really not that great. About a 3 out of 10. Yeah, I don't really know if it's worth it or not. The Royals, Whit Merrifield, very good. He can play a lot of positions. It's kind of weird how he can't play shortstop, but that shouldn't affect. He can play, yeah, he can play every position but shortstop and catcher, which is really good. Good contact all around. Not the greatest power, but that shouldn't be too bad. His vision's pretty good. His feeling's pretty good. His speeds and his steal's good. So, a 5 out of 10. The Twins, Byron Buxton. Fast. Very fast. Not great hitting stats. If you're not gonna play him, he's a good pinch hitter. That's for sure. His contact's fine, his power's fine, his vision's not great. His defense is super good, and his speed and stealing is good. And I know he only has like 79 stealing, but if you have speed in this game, it doesn't really matter. Altogether, a 7 out of 10. Not bad. Next, the Los Angeles Angels, Shohei Ohtani. He bats left-handed, throws right-handed. That's very good. He's almost throwing 100 as a starting pitcher, which is amazing. He's a splitter, very rare pitch. Good Ks per 9, good hits per 9, good stamina, good velocity, good break. And the best thing about him is he has more power than Byron Buxton. He's a amazing hitter. He has good contact. Not great against lefties, but I mean, for a pitcher, that's really good. Altogether, amazing card, 10 out of 10. Next, the Oakland Athletics, I think it's Oakland. Matt Olson, bats left-handed, has right field. Contact, it's not bad, it's not great. Power is amazing. Vision, it's not good. His fielding's very good for first baseman. Speed's not great, but if you want a power hitter, he's a power hitter. 10 out of 10. Very good. The Seattle Mariners, Kyle Seager, third baseman, can play first baseman. His hitting stats, I know it says it's a diamond. It does depend on what you do for hitting. His contact versus righties isn't good. He bats left-handed. His contact versus lefties is pretty good. His power versus righties is pretty good. His power versus lefties, very good. Not very good, but like, it's better than his power versus righties. His vision's good. His fielding's good. Besides that arm. But that shouldn't really affect. His speed's a 40, below average, but that's okay. 6 out of 10. The Texas Rangers. I actually have this one because, yeah, it's contact, not good. Bats left-handed. Can play a lot of positions, but the power is amazing. 112, 114. But he has 28 vision, which is, if you're a higher difficulty, this card's not for you. Because you basically have the PCI the size of a broken Cheez-It. His defense is really good. Reaction is his worst, which is actually good. Speed, good for a power hitter. All around, really good. 9.5, but if you can hit without vision, oh, definitely add a 0.5. Even add another one onto that. So, depends on how you play, but I'm giving him a 9.5. The Astros, the Astros, Carlos Correa. He has quite a few cards, that's for sure, because his new card came out today. Contact versus righties, it's fine. Contact versus lefties is good. He bats right-handed. Power versus righties is good. Power versus lefties is fine. His vision's fine. His feeling's pretty good. His reaction's the worst, but he's not an outfielder, so that shouldn't be too bad. Speed's pretty good. Stealing, not great, but I don't really know if you're going to steal with him. Altogether, 8.5. It does depend on what you're looking for, but I would give him an 8.5.
Yo, so today we're going to be ranking the National League Team Affinity cards, starting off with the NL East. We've got my boy Stretch Rez, aka Ozzy Albies. He's good against left-handing pitching with the 114-83 power, and decent against right-handing pitching, 71 contact, 62 power, with pretty good defense. The only thing that looks bad there is that 54 arm. That shouldn't matter too much. He's playing second base. So he's all around a pretty good card. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. And we're going to come over here to Brian Anderson of the Miami Marlins. He's decent against both sides of pitching with 82, 69 power and contact versus righties, 69, 74 contact power versus lefties. Good vision. His defense is pretty good. His hitting was good. He'd be better, but he's only a 4.5 out of 10. New York Mets, Michael Conforto. Good against right-handed pitching, 82-95. Decent against left-handed pitching, 69-75. His vision's pretty low, and he's only got okay defense, so I'd give him a 6 out of 10. Now the Phillies with Aaron Nola. He's got good per nines, good stamina, except for his walks and home runs per nines are a bit low. He's got a 4-pitch repertoire and decent fielding. That doesn't really matter too much, but with a 62 arm for pitching, that's not that good. So I gave him a 5.5 out of 10. And to top it off in the NL East, we have Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals. Great hitting against left-handed pitching and right-handed pitching. His vision's not so great, but pretty good. And he's got okay defense with 71 arm and 56 accuracy. I think if you hit your cutoff guy, you'd be fine. So I give him a 9.5 out of 10. All right, now we come over here to the NL Central, starting off with Anthony Rizzo. He's better against right-handed pitching with 90-82. Decent against left-handed pitching with 71-75. Great vision. And he's got pretty good defense, but he is a first baseman, so it shouldn't matter too much. So all around, I gave him a 7 out of 10. Now, Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds. So Joey Votto isn't really a face of the franchise anymore. He's super old. See, he's 36. With okay hitting stats, 94, 77 contact, 74, 65 power. Good vision. Not so great fielding, but he is a first baseman, so it does not matter all that much. But all around, he's a 3.5 out of 10. Milwaukee Brewers. Lorenzo Cain, great contact. Decent, okay power. Not so great power, actually. He's got pretty good defense. His reaction's a 93, which is perfect for an outfielder. His arm is not so great, so if you just hit your cutoff guy, you should be fine. But because of that, it brings him down to a 5 out of 10. Now the Pirates. Josh Bell. Josh Bell's great against right-handed pitching, 85-94. Decent against left-handed pitching, 61-85. He is a switch too. He's got horrific defense, as you can see. He's got a common defense, and his stats are not great. But he is a first baseman, and a lot of first basemen have common, bronze, silver defense. So it should not matter too much. So he's a 7.5 out of 10. And finally, just like the Reds, the Cardinals with Yadier Molina, who's 37. He's got good contact, okay power with a 78-87 contact, 55-60 power. His vision's really good. and he's got good defense with that arm. But all around, just because he's old, he's really slow. He's a 3.5 or 4 out of 10. Starting off, now we're going to end off here in the NL West with David Peralta. He's got good hitting stats with 102, 74 contact, 80, 71 power. He's got decent fielding. His arm's really low. But I just hit my cutoff guy with him, and everything's fine. He's got pretty good vision. So all around, he's a 5.5 out of 10. We got Colorado Rockies with Charlie Blackmon. Great hitting stats, 199 contact, 84, 79 power, 80 vision. But his defense is so horrendous. It's with 61 fielding, 66 arm, with 40 accuracy and 63 action. I don't know how good you would be if you hit the cutoff guy, like if it's off the wall, or if you're at the warning track and you got to throw it to your cutoff guy. It still might be a little bit of a wild throw. So Charlie Blackmon, only because of his good hitting stats, he's a 6.5 out of 10. Now the Dodgers, Justin Turner. Let's look at his stats. He's got great contact, 92, 110. He's got good power against left-handed pitching, decent against right-handed pitching with good vision. And he's got decent defense, but he is a third baseman. It doesn't always matter, but it could matter. And he's got his secondary positions, so depends where you put him. But all around, he's a 7 out of 10. Padres with Fernando Tatis Jr. He's got good hitting stats with 87, 90 contact, 85, 79 power. His vision, though, it's not great. 47, it's kind of terrible. But he's got great D, 83 fielding, 95 arm, 60 accuracy, which isn't great. Should be fine. So he's an 8 out of 10. Finally, the Giants, who I think this is not the perfect person ever. Buster Posey. Keep in mind he's 33, really not a face of a franchise anymore, just like Joey Votto and Yadier Molina. He's got okay contact, 83, 75. Pretty bad power of 55, 49. Good vision. His fielding's great. But he's really just a 4 out of 10 because of how his age and his hitting. And that just is it for the National League.